Hey guys, how's it going? Let's do a quick little recap here at the markets. What's been happening? What's going on? What can we expect to see? So we'll start here at the daily. I'm going to focus on Bitcoin today, looking through different time frames because that's the reality is this is what matters right now. The direction that Bitcoin chooses, the rest of the market, for the most part, is going to follow it. So let's take a look here. Bitcoin on the daily. I sent a message out earlier to the FOMO Factory group. I was watching here this morning as I woke up. I looked at the charts and I thought, "Hey, this looks pretty interesting. I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern possibly work itself out. And if it did, well, then, hey, maybe that will help us get a little bit closer to working ourselves out of this range. Where does that bring us? Well, that would bring us at about this high over here, this level over here at about 75, 76,000. Not good enough for a new high to break us out of this range. So, as fun as it would be, and as fun as it is to think about, um, I don't think it is my base case. Anyways, let's take a look a little bit closer at some of these charts and some of the indicators that I like to use. So we're looking here at the BTC score and at the MACD here on the daily. So we could get a bounce here off the moving average. It happens often, right? We get a bounce. But also the MACD is starting to look like it wants to roll over. It could rebound. It all depends on what's happening in the higher time frames. Like a waterfall, the higher time frames fall lower and influence what happens on the lower time frames. So let's take a look here. On the daily, it has a little bit of a bearish momentum here on our momentum indicators. Okay, so maybe our levels that we're looking at, maybe heading back down to about 60K, and then we have a possibility of retesting this bottom here at about 58, 50, yeah, about 57 and a half, 58K. That's a real possibility. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the lower time frame indicators for anybody that might be trading or looking for a short entry or a long entry. Let's just take a look here at the 1 hour. What's this one doing? Um, this doesn't here. Let me just pull up the RSI. What does this look like? Okay, so the RSI, it's pretty oversold down here. Low momentum. Actually, it looks decent over here on the MACD. Also, could be rolling over. Right, we could be getting a rollover here. The 1 hour doesn't look too bad actually. You can see how it's been working. And we get down, we can see how it's been oscillating very well over here. We can also probably put a little bit of it's kind of sloppy. They're often pretty sloppy, right? But you can see how it's been working higher highs and higher lows as we work our way up, trying to break at least this past higher, this past high. If we can get there, we haven't gotten there yet at about 67,000. Maybe we get another bump and it gets us up there. We'll see. So the 1 hour doesn't look so bad. Let's take a look here at the 4 hour. 4 hours not too bad either, right? We're about the same place as we were as every time we were making a higher high and a higher low as we work up this channel here. Okay, that doesn't look so bad. So the lower time frames, they don't look as bad as kind of the mid time frames. Let's look at the 3 day. Yeah, 3 day doesn't look great. Okay, but if we get some movement here on the lower time frames, it could move this around. We'll see. Perhaps we see it come back and test, see what it's done here. Come back and test the moving average and kind of make its way and work its way up. We'll see how that goes. Right? It doesn't look too bad here. Well, it's just jumping back and forth. Jumping back and forth here on the MACD. It hasn't made a decision whether it wants to be a light green or a dark green. Okay, well, that doesn't look as bad as what I was expecting to see. And of course, if we go to uh, the higher time frame, the one that I like, the macro time frame, we pull this up and we pull up the BDZ V2, we can see here, if we look at this long term, and it's not only this indicator. We've been posting, Menno and I have been posting indicator after indicator, on chain metric after on chain metric that just consistently show that what we're seeing right now and the levels we're seeing right now, we have seen 4 times at least before. Some of them 5 times before. And if you're fading this area, many people have done that in these bottoms also. And I remember, thankfully, in 2017, sorry, this was 2022. 2022, I DCA'd in at 17 and a half thousand. It did go lower, but hey, I don't regret DCAing at 7,000, and I don't, or 17.5, and I don't wish. I'm happy that I wasn't in the camp of, oh, we're gonna wait till 10,000, because those people got burnt. And I think the same thing is going to happen this season, of course. This bear market, there's going to be a large swath of people that get burnt trying to be greedy at the bottom. It's going to happen. It happens every single time. Do the research, take a look, use AI. What were the bears expecting? How low were they expecting it to go in 2015, in 2019, in 2022? All of them were expecting the bottom to fall another 30 to 50%. Anyways, do your research. Try not to cherry pick research and certain indicators that just prove what you're hoping that it's going to be. My view, the macro landscape, this is where I want to DCA in. If it goes lower, then I'll DCA in a little bit more. Okay. For me, it makes more sense for me to try to DCA in a range where all the indicators are firing than cross my fingers and hope that we get another leg down within the next excuse me, within the next few months because of a calendar date. That doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. All right. So anyways, this is my findings, what I've just realized looking at these charts. If I'm a person who's DCAing and I have a portion of my portfolio that's set for DCAing, which I do, um, I'm looking at these current levels. If we get down to the low 60s, and right now we're at 64, technically low 60s, then I'm DCAing. Okay. If I am a person who is a trader, or I also like to trade, which I am, the 1 hour time frame, let me zoom in here a little bit. The 1 hour time frame is actually not looking too bad, right? We might get a bit of a rejection here. It's not set in stone yet. We haven't crossed that moving average, which is typically I like to watch for. And it's nice to make sure that we get across here. So it doesn't look bad. It looks promising. How are we doing over here? Yeah, over here on the 30. Well, we're pointing up. We've crossed the moving average. We're pointing up, and we have a lot of room to go before we're overheated on this. So depending on the time frames that you're trading, typically when I trade, I like to trade the 4 hour. Usually those trades kind of resolve in a few days. Trade the 4 hour. I confirm the direction on the daily, make sure that it's going the way that I want to go so I don't get rolled over and stopped out. And then I confirm my entry based on the 1 hour. So that's what I do when I'm trading. And things don't look so bad right now. I might wait. If it was me, I might wait just a little bit longer for some extra confirmation on the shorter time frames. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if over the next few days we see another one of these. Does it go higher? I don't know. Maybe it continues the trend. Maybe it gets stopped out. But personally, I always take profit on the way out and leave a percentage with a trailing stop loss just in case it goes. Then I at least catch some of it. And I have a trailing stop loss down here also, so that if I get into profit, I get to keep some of it at least if the trade goes backwards. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Basically, lower time frames look good. Kind of medium time frames a little more questionable, and the higher time frames, I don't think you can ask for a better looking chart. All right, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Do the YouTube thing, like, subscribe, leave some comments, bash me if you want, agree with me if you want. Tell me what you're looking at, what you're waiting for, if you think it's time to DCA in, or if you think we're going down to 25K. Let me know. Chat soon. See you in the Alpha Factory.